Hello bloody folks, welcome and welcome back to Pxy-VERSE. Today episode session 18 of this pre-prod quest for the making of 3D webcomics in Blender. 3D webcomics in a sort of hybrid language between, hybrid graphic novel language between, graphic novels, sequential art or comics, webcomics, and 3D animation and storyboard, real animatic, 3D animation, animation general. So this is a project that I'm doing as a way to bypass the limitations of animation, and because animation, in my conception, I'm an animator since I was 10 or 11 years old. So I have animated in 2D educational softwares, or even in flip books of school books on the borders, right? Flip books. And then of course, these were primordial kids animations, not professional animation. They were very good actually, but for example, if I were to draw something more complex, I wouldn't be able to do that spontaneously, because first I would need to learn to draw those complex drawings, more complex drawings, more advanced drawings, right? More naturalistic drawings, and then also another, right? Styles, complicated stuff. And then also I would have then to relearn animation for different approach, like the professional techniques. But this is this is not the essence of animation. Anyone who says that the techniques are... No, the essence of animations are what we do like by heart, by spontaneously, and the other things are more advanced techniques that came later in time for whichever reason. So like the kid doesn't need to learn those techniques in order to create stuff, and the artist. But anyway, so I'm spending time on all this subject because with this ancient of course not ancient, this somewhat experience of old time of animation, I've realized that of course one cool thing about animation, besides the motion, the actions and whatever, is the storytelling thing. So I split time between comics and animation. So I visualize a lot of animation scenes in my mind, motion, right? But I didn't do as much because animation is really a crazy thing, like super time consuming. So that is much more complicated to do than for a one-man's army. It can be done, but because I have this splitting between those languages, as many artists do, maybe you do as well, so I had ended up to decide that maybe this approach of 3D animation, it's more to the future. I can wait, or instead what I need to do is storytell. So it's like storytelling is more important to me than graphic storytelling, right? Graphic storytelling is more important than the technique that I'm gonna use, provided it's a graphical technique, provided it's a narrative technique. So this is why, but it took me long time to realize that this is actually a good approach. Anyways, we're gonna end up mixing hybridly, maybe in some hybrid of language. This already exists, of course. I'm just so today this will be short because it's the weekend, but not only that. Today I don't have the cards. Tomorrow maybe yes, but today we're gonna do something. So I'm already exploring some shader or whichever galaxy effects. Now I'm learning something new, but it's still not good enough. But what I can check here, I can update the this space here. I've made this thing here. No, hold on, it's not this one, it's the combined. Well, strangely it's not working. Let's see what it should do more than that. Maybe it's something wrong about the... I was trying to do some spiraling effect. Okay, so this is not spiraling. So maybe the version, I hope I should have saved. Okay, so it might be in the other scene there. Let's see. So now I know how to use this button here. If we look for this thing here, this icon, this is an interesting, how is it called? Open blend file, yeah, the name of the let's get this as a highlight even. Gonna do, yes, record here. Let's add here as a, so two ways of accessing assets from an asset library. Yes. So one way, the first way that I know is very nice. Actually, it's preferably than the other for many. So far I know. Let's see. So you need an extension called edit linked library. This one. So get extension there and then install, and then you can get it here. Enable and edit linked library. So yeah, no, nothing here. But what it does is that whenever we have file paths, whenever we have a, yeah, I'm not sure, but here you see asset library, there is this path here in my system. So I have a, I'm using this folder for this project, right? So whichever blend file I place into this folder, can be on subfolders of this folder, doesn't matter. Whichever blend file is here, also works for image textures, possibly other Python text files, right, for coding, scripting, others, programming, but essentially blend files. They will be available in here, so you can, usually this is by default, but here is my asset library. So the first way to access that I've been using, which is very cool, for example, this asset here, if this carpet here, if you check here, numpad dot, oh, should be, okay, it's here, you see it's linked override. So I need to go here in the sidebar region, item, and then edit linked library, and there is this button, edit override library. So I can edit the asset in its original file. I know where it is, I've organized this. These are not folders, these are just the organizations that we do for the asset library, right? No real folders here, but they can match or may not match the real subfolders of right. But so it's here, and props, I've made this fake folder here, and it is this magic carpet 01. Yeah, so if I want to know its source, I need to do the sidebar region here also for the asset browser, Shift F1 by the way, and then we go sidebar region. Then there is this source, and you see there's this furniture.blend. So this is the furniture where I blend file, where I'm organizing the some of yeah, furniture assets, stuff like that, even dummy. So this I can directly link in my my scene here. They go to the world origin for some reason, then you have to library override it from the yeah, I see it's linked. I cannot move it, I cannot edit, but I can brick, in this case is not a rigged model, just make select, okay, disappears, make selected, not selected in content, just content I don't know what it is for, so I just use select and select. This one is just select. Then we can, I don't know, maybe put the cursor there, Shift S, selection to cursor, keep offset, and there we go. So now I can have this, but okay, no, useless. I want to get to the carpet, so this is the first method. Click here, you see there's an auto save here. This will not close my file that I were in, but it will lead me to the furniture blend, exactly that one. And so here is the carpet, and I can edit it in real time and destroy it if I want, but of course I won't do that. Whichever change I do here, it will auto save, I guess. I can return there just by clicking this same stuff, right? It's the sidebar region, the 3D viewport, editor, and then item tab and edit link library panel, which is that is extension, right? Free inbuilt, right? Great extension. So this is the method one. The other method that I've just learned recently that is can be better in some cases, like it will be, let's say that I want to access, yes, in this case I want to access this this asset here. I could place it here and then access it with the edit link library, that add-on, right? Or I can just click this icon, open blend file. But this, differently than the other case, will open a new blend window program, right? So it will execute another blender. It will keep the other open in real time, but it might not update. Blender doesn't have auto update apparently like this for this kind of workflow, multi-user stuff, right? I think it doesn't have. And yeah, I see this is there. So why? Oh, of course, I know what's happening. It's because I'm not using. I told you I don't have the card today. So the cards. Okay. So I need to save this. I was trying to do some spiraling things. Joy Carlino, that guy from. I was watching something like that, but it's not sufficient. This is very crude, but I was able to get some cool results. What I need here is to space noise. This is combined space. Yeah, combined space. So I just need to mark this as asset, and maybe I should do something about it. Like, okay, also let's reorganize it. Let's place it in world, right? Then yeah, auto save, right? So I'm still confused that, how to. So what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to. This what you're seeing is the same stuff here, but or nearly the same stuff of this noise texture here, which is another cool trick for simulating some cheesy nebula galaxies, right? Then we have stars, the original star systems. It's just add shader, add shader, add shader, background, add shader, and then there's some creepy stars here, just whatever. Some I don't know. They need to get. I don't know how they, if they work with glow, how they will look. So these are just stupidifying stars that just trying to do something here crazy. So I don't really care here. Good job in Blender, thank you. Oh, welcome. I cannot read, sorry, your name. It's that script alphabet, I don't know. Maybe one on another letter. So welcome, brother. So here we got yeah, this star system, which is creepy. This is just these big ones. Let's see what we can do with that. Okay, then we have another. Yeah, we can. If this actually could be so, oh yeah, we can diminish the strength of that, so we could make. Just learn that the background has this kind of stuff, so we can do certain weird patterns probably, but it will sacrifice the colors a little, so it might not be a great idea. But okay, let's try this. This is some scale here, so we're gonna change some stuff here. And also we don't want these things to be that gigantic, right? Or maybe we do something crazy like that, why not? It's very... this is interesting. It looks like those... Remembers those fractal... I don't remember from maths that fractal object that is famous. Get the name of the researcher, I don't know, but yeah, this can work. It's not what I was looking for, but okay, then we can, it works as extra nebula, right? And then maybe we can do something out of, yeah, no, not here, but instead bring this very close, and maybe here we're gonna maybe do this. Yeah, this cannot be too strong, otherwise it will be something very destructive for... it's quite interesting. So let's replicate this effect here. Then we have another one for... it is here. No, it is this one, right? So here we can do this again. Let's get here. And what is this? It is for... Let's hide this one for a moment, because wrong one. No, it is this one. This one. Yes, let's hide this one. So maybe we can change the whole noise here. Hold on. Hard to find. I need to create some groups for this. This one already grouped, so this is hollow. Let's change this color here. The hollow could have some, I don't know, already. I think it would be this color, alright. Then we have the stars. Okay, this can stay black. Then here what we've got, yeah, we got this double star system, so just gonna, should I group them into the edge shader? Yes, yes, Control J. This we're gonna call this a F2 extra, actually weird stars, because this originally the music is glitching from the record. Okay, weird 2 stars, yeah. You see they are making something different out of them now, or nebulas, yeah. So here the second one, yeah, we're gonna see what it is like. Don't worry so much, don't worry, it's already 3 AM here. Yes, I see. We need to go to bed. Good night to everyone who is going to bed. Yes, good night if you're going to bed also. Thanks for being around. So I'm gonna, you see the small stars here. I've just started, but this will be short. I think my time is very chaotic right now for the streams. Sometimes I was doing this like at dawn, at night, at morning. Now I'm doing it at afternoon, but it's crazy. Okay, so here you see this purple. So I need to find the best moment, or I'll be switching the. Okay, so I have colored stars from these stars here. This is a noise, then color ramp. So basically there are 2 star systems here. They are just mixing. One is for white stars, generic, and the other is for colored stars. They have some different effects here. Oh, hold on. Maybe they are. No, this is. No, it's not a mask. Okay, so it probably is. I don't want to distract myself, so I might break something. So here, let's just continue here. So these are these big ones, which could be gigantic suns. I don't know. You see the other node is system, which is very similar to this one, right? We were able to create this noisy stuff. Not the green ones. The green ones are from this one. So it's actually, except that the way I did that was different. Here, as I created this with these bubbles in a very weird way, like reversing this stuff, right? That can be interesting. It's like we can create this stuff here, like start as these bubbles or spheres, yeah, circles, then start to reinforce them. Here we need to do something special to develop on this node here. I need to get here this expand this node here, so it is easy to manipulate. There is a limit. gonna push this even more. Okay. You see this is too bright, so I need to probably it's here, of course. Okay, now we got this crazy inversion, so never mind. Let's just do something like that. It's hard to get the colors to be apparent, but then here is the trick. We can okay, there are many ways to expand this stuff, but we're gonna do something like that. Then let's see. No, not constant. Problem is that staking B-spline often gets interesting results. Let's do B-spline, and now let's get maybe change this setup here. No, let's leave this for now. We see what's happening. There is it's creating some zones. Let's displace here to make well, I'm not seeing. No, it's broken. Need to, of course. Let's try to, yeah, disrupt its rotations, then its positioning, making it chaotic. Then let's get the here. Let's change the scale and see if there's anything of. Let's also augment this to 1. This color ramp is working like a mask for this. Ah, Mandelbrot is the Mandelbrot thing. Yeah, but it's not equal, it just slightly reminds it for me. That's interesting. Look like some crazy stuff growing from deeper space, or you never know, maybe in front, in the back, I don't know. So you can do, but I want to get it more special here. Yeah, so definitely I don't want to reproduce the other ones. I want to do something different here. Detail, what is this detail can help? Okay, so you see the bubbles here. So this was the inverted bubble, right, that created the previous one. Yeah, so this is interesting because we can use this setup here again, and no, in this case I want to create, let's leave this system here. So I'm gonna create these spots here, right, but they need to be Lacunarity, yes, this can help. Then random, if we don't have them random, they do something like that, which is weird, but it's not bad, it's just weird. Like the Matrix, right? Okay, we can do something like that, but it's still not good. We need to do something about. We barely see anything here. Now they are mini spots everywhere, right? Which is kind of crazy. Aha! So we can try to do is the universe of grapes. Then here let's it's not what I was expecting in the, but yes, actually this can be even extra stars, right? We could do this also, but we have already this set up, so I'm just gonna do some big extra stars, except that I need to. Now let's check what this stuff do. Let's try the F2, smooth F1. This one seems interesting. Okay, smooth F1, then this one I don't know how to use. Very interesting, but no. Oh, this is a Voronoi texture. It's not a noise texture. This is why this is doing this crazy stuff. Okay, anyways, smooth F1. So instead of here, let's try. Manhattan, no. Let's try Chebyshev. Might keep this one. And then we got Minkowski. Now let's keep. Okay, so there's Euclidean or Chebyshev. Okay, Chebyshev. Then here I'm gonna try to expand this setup again. Like 0.001 maybe. Now this is 0, this will be, I think we can 0.001. Can we do this? Yes, we sort of can. Then here, can I make this darker? But if I invert, then I'll have some sort of, let's be more radical here. Copy this, let's try to place, yeah, so this happens. So no, let's leave it black and just push this back, and that's it. This is pure black. I'm gonna isolate. Alright, save. And now we're gonna have to play with this, yeah, let's see, ease, cardinal, linear, B-spline. Yeah, I think for this one let's use the ease, and then we already have some. And now this is about this string. We can try to see which 0 point. So this is 1. We don't want all this. So I think 0.2 something here. Can be very subtle. About 0, this can be nice. Maybe it's a bit too strong because there are too many. So maybe I could change the scale from the mapping. No, it's not like here. Although it sort of helps. Maybe. Okay, then this is adding. So background, add shader, that add shader. So this is the final. This is the radial thing that I was trying to mix. So if I isolate this background, oh no, this is the other. This is just a noise. And this other one is the radial madness that I'm trying to do something here. So basically this is going to map something. Yeah, this is another kind of these ones, but except that this one, like, it's a kind of this one, but this one is being mapped by a crazy gradient texture, which then is gradient texture radial. So one is mapping the other, that is mapping the noise that is doing this, and then this is just adding itself to all the rest. And so in the end that should give something crazy like this. But right now this one is not working very nicely, so it's like I need to, oops, it's better to see if we yeah, I see that these extra stars there or points are too heavy, right? So maybe we need to do this really low. So it will barely appear. Yeah, it's questionable how to get the best of this, so maybe we'll try this. With the glow it might have some extra effect, or I just delete it, I don't know, I'll leave it. So I could try to work on this one already. So it's very difficult because I don't really understand and it has 2 poles, right? So it's difficult to so color ramp. So essentially, yes, the other one is not being changed. It's all about this. So I can have this. So this is sourcing 2 mapping nodes, but what if I take this off? If I take this off, I still get a system here. which is the radial, but more likely I cannot get it going wild in a spiraling way. I can probably do other cool stuff with it, but not the most crazy thing. So this is why I need to wait. I think this was to the rotation, right? So this will, yeah, it's specific. And then the idea is to make this thing to I don't understand why this okay, let's assume this won't do nothing then, and oh, maybe it's doing, but it takes time to process. Not unsure, but anyways. It got some crazy colors now. I don't know what happens to it, but apparently it got background. Okay, let's just connect everything and no, it's because of this, of course. This is supposed to be to be fair, I'm not sure now, but zero, yeah, it is a low value in principle, but it looks okay, never mind. So we can okay, it doesn't matter. So we have this stuff, but it's not good. When will it start showing some? I think I need to work on these ones, yeah. It should be subtle. Right now it's just overwhelming, so we don't need to necessarily look at the top, right? But if we look, we can I think this multiply will change the amount of the spiraling. Yeah, so this is, then we have this location, maybe we reset here. Crazy, except that it takes a while to, oops, okay, I don't know what happened. Let's control Z. Oh, it needs to be 1. Alright, then We can change the scale, right? Apparently it needs to be normalized, right? Then okay, let's go for the distortion then. I think it has to do with so you have some sort of circle here, yes, and it should be symmetric on both sides, right? Although hard to see it in the world, right? So just to have a point of reference here. This multiply doesn't seem to do anything, so and also not this, right? So and I'm not being able to. So this is, it's, I think there's something about that. This one is 0. If I change this, nothing happens. Alright, then alright, let's say that we got. No, I could also try. Interesting. I can sort of negate the radial from, like, you got the idea, right? You can okay, let's try this one. If it's constant, it's boring, right? This spline merges interestingly, and we can, of course, yeah, I've already changed these colors here, so alright, let's leave this stuff. I wasn't able to distort this stuff as I intended, but there are some interesting things going on, but we need now to sort of negate this excessive Okay, this can be good for now. Then I have to decide there more how to handle this and mix, but this will be the assetize combined space 0. So it's actually combining plenty of stuff, and it's still work in progress. Let's return now finally to, so I've saved here. You remember this, I was using from the asset browser that I used that icon here, right? So this is another Blender file, so I just need to close it, and now I need to update this world. I want to bring this one into here, and I don't know what it will, yeah, so doesn't seem to work too well, right? It's too dense in color, but this is not the final render anyway, so let's see if we do some render here. Let's see what happens. This is still not finished. Yeah, so here you can at least see what happens with some glow. So this is kind of crazy, the idea that we're having some sort of huge nebula structures and here and there. Even that's quite appealing. I think it's bad, the colors, the shading is bad, but it's foggy, it's not colorful, it's not deep enough, the space, it's polluted. But the idea that we're getting all these glowing stars alongside this looks interesting to some extent. So with a few more work here, I think I can get this work to work. So let's leave it there for now, and let's see what else we can update here or achieve for this scene here. So basically, let's turn off the star emoji there. So this was the demonstration of how to change the the files, right, to access the original source file containing the assets. Now, so I could say that the idea of, yeah, I didn't do any of this, so I was just presenting some of my later experiments in the, so it started, instead of just stars in space, start to get some nebula in space, which is not bad, or even some galactical structures, intergalactic structures, or galactic cluster structures, like the structure of the universe, basically one of them, macro structures. So we can get here, yes, so there's this annoying thing in the ceiling here. There are some lights that are not working actually, and should be time to try to fix them. Then I know if I would need to create some lamps for the ceiling. I guess I won't need, but we need to investigate that. So basically this is what I have. I would place some light sources here in these niches, and I already have some lights in this area, but they might not be working very well. They were made some time ago. They look like they are not even enabled. It's a spotlight and it is very weak. Apparently it's there, but it's very weak. Am I using, yeah, let's see. Okay, we're gonna make some tests here. I'm gonna render this. I have to do comparisons, right? So we are barely seeing anything, and I believe I know why. It's because I have other light source, which is this global sun. Okay, I would need to turn off all these suns to see actually the effect of this spotlight. And apparently, let's try to render with this. Oh, also I've watched a tutorial recently EV to dark, but actually it's not a bad render, right? It's actually cool to have this sort of darkish atmosphere. So EV, if you want to do terror movies, that EV that you need to use. And the problem is that, yeah, so turns out that there is evidence apparently that the shading for EV is really sluggerishing the navigation and rendering, of course. If I turn this off, I think it will turn off. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, so you see it's much faster, but then I lose the shading. So I can do this for lights individually, which is what I would like to do. The problem is that this probably means that the lights will traverse let's see. Or is it shadow from... It's not that the light traverses the object, it's just that it doesn't cast shadows. Maybe? Oh yeah, okay. The light that bypass walls is this one. Because this is a different setup. They are not equivalent, I guess. So all these sunlights, they are transpassing the wall. So this is my global tetrahedron suns. This one is, the first one is not rendered, just for sake of clarity in the scene. Although we can do achieve this by increasing exposure, this will be rendered while this will not. So this is just pre-visualization. Hence fake sun, and it's traverse everything. These ones, however, they will be rendered, but I've made them very, I already explained some time ago, they have, all them are summing up to a sun of 1 strength. They have very low values, and also their angles must be very carefully, they cannot be too high, they cause problem for the glasses, reflections. Then they don't have shadow because then they traverse everything. They are located here. And then, yeah, this is the fake sun. Let's move it. Let's place it here. Then this is the parent of all this. Okay, so what else? Then, yeah, so what I could do is to maybe for certain lights, not this one, I'm looking for this one, spot orange. So for example, each one of them is parented. Okay, so this is hard to find, but they are here. So if I look for all these objects, hold out, they don't need to cast shadow, or now this will make them traverse the... Okay, this can be a bad choice. Let's see here what happens. I would expect okay, but anyways, I turned that off, and this one makes the EV much lighter. So for games, of course, we solve stuff by baking, right? So for example, this, the question is, do I really need this thing? Like this, where this light is coming from? I don't know what casting light on that, but anyways, let's render something here, because this is very performative. Let's render this thing here. Still not ready. Okay. Oh yeah, so you see these lights go there. There's no projected shader there. If we enable this, also not. Okay, so maybe this is just for certain lights. Shadow casting. Oh, maybe I got the idea. So actually this works in sync with the others individual. So that means that I need to enable them here. And then also on here, in order to have the, so the one is individual and the other is generic. Yeah, so now this is working. So I think this is important. Unfortunately, if I turn this off, of course it will disable everything, so I don't expect them to work. So it's the same feature, except that this is global and this bypasses the, well, this overrides everything if it's disabled, right? So I need it enabled, but I could disable some others, for example, and by disabling some others I could have better performance, right? So for example, do these ones here. No, it's not this. Okay, let's enable this, will facilitate. This camera is not helping. Alright, this is much better. Okay, so I have this one, for example. This is called area ceiling niche. So all these ones, do they actually need to cast shadows? Oh yes. If they don't, they create unless, oh yeah, if I, unless by moving them just a little, maybe we can cheat. Let's look from here. Yeah, then we have this effect, but nobody cares about outside in currently, so this could help. They don't seem to be These are the elliptical ones. Okay, didn't see anything. I accidentally have disabled that, but nothing seems to happen here. Alright, then here probably we'll see some issues. Yeah, we see this. The scene seems slightly faster. Then we have some other, yeah, then I'm trying to assess these ones. Oh, they are very displaced here. Yeah, you see, very old lamp. Let's get a render here. Really, that ceiling light seems very silly. So I think I'm just gonna delete them. They seem meaningless at this point. These are doing all these around are doing a great job already. Spot orange. So these are it's these ones, right? Point yellow. Ah, these are older ones, I guess. Here another one of these which has failed me. Oh no, maybe this still works. Let's see. We're gonna give it the chance to survive. Slot 1. F11, let's change to slot 2. F12, I've disabled it, let's see what happens. We compare now. It's it's good, but it's, yeah, you see there are some shadow. This is cast shadow, so this is good. This one requires it, but it doesn't seem very adequate, and without a asset it's sort of useless, right? And I already have in the ceiling here good reasons to and this color anyways I'm already using it for, so I'm gonna delete, we're gonna rework this so it will be like this. The object we have already, but we're gonna reposition it. We can probably use this reference here, GZ. We're gonna try to get this exactly in the center here. Okay, this is a good place. we can make a spotlight exactly here, or area light, I don't know, maybe an ellipse one, and then some other ones. We'll see. Shift A, actually let's get, yeah, so I'm gonna light, let's start with point. And let's see if we get let's see what happens. Unexpectedly good. I want to parent it, keep offset. We're gonna, yeah, not renaming it yet, so it's like do something like here. Let's do some radius here. Yeah, we want it to be casting shadow. Okay, let's also, the rendering is bad. We need to pull back this camera view. Let's check something here. Okay, then we're going to re-render here. It's too soft, right? But the idea of having it then red is actually interesting. Blue, pink, red, and orange. We could try other stuff, and then here I would have some cyan. We're gonna rework that niche here of the bar, stuff like that. So maybe green, because there'll be some trees there, plants, right? Assets gonna need. So here, let's change this to a spot, and or actually area first. Gonna yeah, I will need this to, it's easier to visualize like this. Okay, so I have a spotlight here and it is getting too much reflections on here, which is a bad thing. Oh no, this is an area light, it's not a spotlight. I'm gonna do the rectangle. Let's compare with the ellipse. Okay, I'm gonna try this. That's very nice. Slot 1, then we're going to change it to rectangle. I don't see destruction of these materials here. I don't know now which was which, but both seem to work. I haven't seen this destruction here of this. So this is area light is working, right? Let's see the spotlight now. And radius, power, size, blend. I have hard time seeing what this is doing. Let's try this. Yeah, we see it's not that good, the spotlight. I think the area is better. I think it combines better with the shape of the hall here. Yes. Okay, this one is good. Then I'm gonna call it A area red. Area hall red. Yeah. Area ceiling. Yeah, the ceiling is hall red. Actually, now I'm gonna probably duplicate. Maybe do we need to have them in these secondary niches? Yeah, maybe it's not a bad idea. So Shift D, we're gonna get the center of the face, get this, move it there, then we're gonna yeah, strange shape. So here I don't know what I do with that, so just let's try to see what it does. Right. It's already perhaps too saturated with So let's saturate even more. We can try to bring a more. Let's try this one and still reddish tone, right? Let's try this one. Slot 2. And I need to consider that okay, sort of colorize things better, but I must remember that in this particular case I'm rendering this stuff without the suns, so it's like super let's bring the camera here. Of course I don't need these suns. Now you can see that without, if we bring these suns, they just will break this, the subtle effects of this. I barely see any, right? Which is very unfortunate. So maybe I'll have to turn down these suns. Now I'm having the opposite effect. I have an EV that is over, that the darkness of EV that I'm trying to counter with this stuff, with many effects, is actually not being good enough. I actually have other light sources now which are colorful and necessary. So maybe I should try to divide everything here by 2. Even this fake sun here, doesn't need all this effect. These are not projecting shadows, okay? These ones will be, these ones are not. Okay, we disable their options. Shadow, spot orange, this they have. It's important, little detail, but it matters. This one they have, I think that, yeah, at least the central one, there are some. If there's a character, it is important, so both of them. I'm gonna make another one, and then for the globals they don't have, and that's all about lights we have here. Okay, let's render here. And see how is the light. Okay, so I've reduced the power of the suns, and now I think we are getting some reddish tone here. Yes, this is sort of working. It's working, okay. Then I need to decide what to do with the final niche there. So I'm gonna Shift D, G, X. Actually, mirror to the center, mirror to the cursor, global, mirror, global X, No, I think I've messed up. We need another of these objects here. So Shift D first, and then mirror global X, then its scale gets inverted on one axis, unfortunately, so I need to fix that. Just reset scale, right? This I want to get some green color, why not? Or maybe more toward the teal color. Let's see what will happen. Okay, that's acceptable. This is a bit too strong there. It's how it interacts with the wall, so the wall material. Maybe I need to reduce. Okay, let's reuse this on the other side as well. Three, 6, 3, 1. Oh, because they are, it's Alt D stuff. Okay, it's already sort of mimicking the other. That's why, yeah. So I need to maybe change this. Now let's try to... I have some more lights here, but they are spotlights which are very, very bad. Right now they are deprecated. Despite the fact there's a lot of energy, power, but it doesn't help. Now you have this area, right? So we need to barely see anything, so let's turn off this stuff. Okay, so apparently this... Oh, it is being blocked by some geometry. That's why. This one, no, this is not the case. Then we have that, also probably the same issue, so we're gonna So here I'm unsure about which color I want. Maybe I just want some more neutral color. And the power, I'm gonna test now. No, this doesn't seem to be working. we want to, yeah, also here let's move this into the lights. There we go. Let's double that. And yes, so there's this lights here. Let's see how that behaves. Yeah, it seems a bit too strong. Yeah, a little better. I think we can accept this for now. Then for the other, if this position is reasonable, need to be careful about the size there. That could create bad reflections for the wall. Okay, this is sort of better, but the color needs still to work out. Okay, this sort of let's try something like here. Yes, and for this other one, let's bring it more to the blues, or even here. and this one, yes, this one is steel. That's okay. Then apparently these lights, we want light colors, yes. So it's not the object, the gizmo is the object there. It's a bit confusing, but we can see, yeah, it helps to see. So need to get used to. Alright, so this, now we get the sun's back, and if I could do something now, let's say I need to make some tests here. Let's get a render. I'm trying to get rid of these sunlights. Maybe there is a way. Like, I'm maximizing exposure. Let's bring the character also. Yeah, she could be here. Okay, let's bring her about here. Then let's also fix this madness here. Need to refresh this. What's happening is that it's a linked duplicate scene, and I've made changes into the assets, the added objects, and that here I don't know why this scene gets here, but it doesn't matter. We're going to refresh this, so delete that. Linked copy, rename, get into it. I don't need its compositing nodes. Delete all, do not use nodes to avoid any confusion. Let's change it to workbench. Take transparent off. Yeah, enable transparent. And that's it, nothing else yet. Then we need to go to EV compositor and update here back to workbench, and that's all. Alright, now the scene is no more broken. And I can probably try to save here. Right, I was rendering this for what? Because of the test of the EV lighting, right? So gonna get here. Can I rename these slots just to, no. Okay, so let's render here. So I don't have sun, so it's a disgrace. Well, yeah, it's bad, but we get some interesting darkness, but it's not what I want. I want now to compare this with another render that we're gonna do on slot 2, in which I'm gonna expand the on EV, right? Precisely on EV. Color management. We're gonna expand this gradually. So instead of 0.25, 0.5, we're gonna double. I don't expect here to compensate. We don't see nearly any difference, so we're gonna try 1. I render on top of slot 2 again. There is very slight difference. The glare dies off for some weird reason, but I don't see. I even start suspecting that this thing before display transform. Yeah, so this is weird. Anyways, let's try 2. Okay, so you see that the effect, of course, is terrible, and it is probably affecting the stars because it's... This one also has the same exposure, so it's get double exposure, which is not good. So we need to ignore the center, the landscape, but this, of course, let's try 1.5. Doesn't seem that this will work. So very weird, because here is the same thing. So this exposure like does nothing. So maybe I can play with gamma. I haven't seen any instruction on this. This says after display transform and before display transform. So this is interesting. This is for EV only, and I'm double compositing, dual compose. So maybe there's a chance that something different here could do a better effect. For what I'm trying to achieve. Of course, I don't know what would be, so that's why we need to make tests. Let's try to render the... First, let's try this one. And immediately we see that this seems too dark. The fact that I don't know how this will compose with the dual compositing, right? So it could be beneficial. Apparently we are having trouble identifying what is what. Slot 2, yes, I want to... Okay, so apparently this is not helping. It will keep changing the colors are a bit dyed off here and there with the filmic. I don't know, let's see what this thing... Yeah, no. Raw, super dark, right? So why would I... So let's try the... Let's try Chronos, and let's try to expand this gamma. Yeah, and I can't compare here, it bypasses whatever thing, so very weird. So I can't get good lighting results here with that, so I still require this fake... no, not the fake, these illuminations here. However, I want to test now with Chronos. No, it's just darker and it overrides this stuff, so terrible. And the other, yeah, there's nothing else that well, there is gamma, yeah, so there's gamma, which will bypass anyways. I have to save the... Yeah, it explodes some of the colors. And it's terrible that I cannot compare. So alright, so what well, I was able to do, what is this? Just a weird reflection. So fix these lamps here. Well, no asset lamps here, just light fixing. We start to get some galaxy stuff in the although, so maybe this substitutes my need for this galaxy eye. So I'm gonna consider that this is done. I'm not gonna make the ring planet, maybe leave to the asteroids. Yeah, just gonna make the, no, I think the ring planet will be good. The galaxy will be this stuff, but with some improvements. We're not gonna make the ceiling lamps. We already actually achieved some, just improved the lamps here and there. The carpets, there we've made one, and we could have another extra, but I think it's okay like that. Maybe it's good to leave this carpet here, no carpet here, there. My idea was to make another one with a different material, but it's sort of hard to get the good material, so I leave like that. Then cabinet, shelves and desks. So I have some shelves already here, and for this area might be good. Maybe we need another one there. On these walls we could have some special shelves. Also cabinets here would be nice, and here, and maybe on that, yeah, so on there, maybe something here. These cabinets can serve multiple purpose. Here looks like a small table. Now I have a big table here, so I don't want a small table like this in this corner, so I'm gonna do this by cabinet. Small cabinets of different kinds, but they'll probably follow these patterns here. And then we're going to make a desk here. So this is inspired by Kasumi's room in my Mass Effect 2, and cabinets here, shelves, yeah, here, cabinet shelves. So this is a lot of stuff to create, but this will be like the last elements of furniture besides the plants. So we are getting very close to the small assets here, which will be like just accessory stuff. And then it's starting to look good, to look very good actually. And so the character will be big problem, the rig. I need to keep improving it. I'm famous now. Famous is not the right word, but to overdo rigging, right? So I need to find a way to fasten this out, and of course one of these ways will be to do this offline. So my plan for starting tomorrow will be to continue doing these assets, or try to get as much as we can. Probably I'll do totally this, we'll see and then I'll be doing small inputs of rigging, and I'll be rigging, showing what I do offline. Unfortunately, I have to show something about rigging. Hope that it will not take too long, so you won't suffer. If you like rigging, that it's good. But I'll do just a little so that to show can show progress, and good progress. And this is fundamental for this 3D webcomics project, because I need the character with good expressions. The focus is facial rigging. The character moves, right? I can do plenty of stuff, but it's not. There's a helper rig even for radical deforms, but it's still not in place for this particular mesh, so the facial expressions are still not adequate for the character design. But I've rigged this kind of character. I have some glitches there. Anyways, should be question of technically it will be something to solve in less than 1 week, a matter of days if I focus properly. Alright folks, so this, let's get a final render here. Yeah, not the best render, but you see the composition works somewhat. It is appealing for sci-fi stuff. I think it will be very, very nice, but we need to. So I think my deadline would be next weekend. Yeah, by the end of next week's Sunday, I should be able to. What I'm doing? Yeah, this is a render. Okay. I should be able to start the storytelling process, and that might mean to whichever level of rig of whichever I achieved here, the challenge, I should be able to tell a small story with 3D webcomics, like workflow, right, in real time, right? We'll see how that will end up, and with whatever state of the assets I get from there, unless it's very insufficient, but I think it will be sufficient. So by then I should have the cards. So so a good reason for me to push offline this rig madness, and then I'll be able to, because technically for the scenery, the lighting, the compositing, everything is already working for the most part. These remaining assets are not fundamental, they are extras. The scene is quite well populated already, and we can totally I can totally tell a story with that. But of course, some bottle of wine here and there, some cups, yeah, all this, some extra furniture will certainly make this thing quite better and more meaningful. So worth pushing to the end. Yeah, it shouldn't take 2 weeks, right, for the storytelling process to start. I'll have to make some experiments, right, but at least some real time of the progress I should be streaming, and then we'll see how this will be further developed. Yeah, so that's it for today, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope that was interesting. Take care and happy blendering. Have a nice weekend. See you soon. Tomorrow I'll be here as well. See ya, folks.